Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks, a live toy talk show. Tonight we're going to talk about why you should back that Haslab Skystriker with our special guest Dan Larson from Toy Galaxy. We'll also talk about the fate of the rest of the Haslab projects, as well as some other toy news like those awesome TMNT reveals from NECA and Super 7, as well as Super 7 unveiling their next wave of G.I. Joe figures. All of that and more tonight on Toy Geeks. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toy Geeks. My name is Jay, and with me, as always, is John. But a very special guest is none other than Dan Larson from Toy Galaxy. Welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys?
Very good, very good. Thank you for joining.
Absolutely. It's a couple weeks late. I was hot to be on the show a couple weeks ago, and I just screwed up the invite.
Yeah, so if people were on the PulseCon Day 2 live stream that we did, Dan Larson was typing in the chat, and I was just like, I gotta check, see if maybe he actually can jump on tonight, and you totally could have, but glad we finally got you here tonight. It's really exciting.
Good to go.
A lot of people in the chat already. It is already hopping. We've got I gotta go all the way back here. Power Turtle Busters was here first. Definitely check out his channel. Does a lot of great stuff. Robert, Alex, Jason, and Celia. Dan Larson rocks. Well, there you go, Dan. Look at that. Michael Gervais, Mr. Home Alone 81, Casino Skunk, Evil Villain. There's a bit of back and forth here. I think Jason Clark, as well as Dartherian, Jonathan Cobweb, and Michael Miller, John Hibbard Comics, Todd Smith is here. O-Rings return on vintage cards. Hallelujah. Nightmare 10880, John Rhodes, Brandon 3G, Nick Dillinger, Michael Miller, Free Reign, John Hibbard, Michael Palmer, Chris and Jamie Ross. I think I did Brandon 3G already. I'm sorry. Nelson, Master Blaster, Mike, Toy Malarkey, Justin, David V, Phineas Bog, and Dave, Blackbox, Riley, Hung Wen, Toy Connections, and Throwback Girl, Gotham Stalker. Oh my goodness, it keeps going. Holy moly, Jeff Morris, Sebastian, Antonio, Toys That Glow, Plastic in the Attic. Yes, Have Some is here. I have a feeling I'll be back in this thing by the end of the show. Listen, Dan has come prepared. He has copious notes. He's ready.
It's at 51:34 right now. We're going to see how many people have jumped in by the end of the show.
Yes, there you go. Exactly. Ivan, Jamie, Space Cowboy, and Dave Action. 69 people in the chat. Oh, my Lord. Yeah, so there we go. Thomas. So I back the Sky Striker. Now bring on the Nightbird. Woo. It's like two shows in one. Indeed. All right. So, Dan, yes, you have made it no secret that you are like super pumped about this particular Haslab project. So, like, what has you so jazzed about this one in particular?
I think part of it was just the straight up surprise of it.
Right.
I think a lot of us had been looking, for a classified, obviously, Haslab, assuming that was the next step. Star Wars had done it, Transformers had done it. We've assumed classified was going to be the next step. That was going to, a big $200, $300, $400 big ticket item.
Yeah.
And for them to come out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere. There's been no rumors of this, no leaks, no pictures, no nothing. And to hit us with this. And at first, I had the same reaction as everybody, like, oh, God, really? I already have the Sky Striker. Why do I want another Sky Striker?
Yeah.
But after they played this video, all the additional stuff, the fact that it's a brand new mold, the fact that it's officially licensed from, Grumman, all of the little bits and pieces, is it a little high priced? Maybe. I don't care. I'm a big F-14 Tomcat fan. I grew up around the airplanes. I have my original one. This isn't my original one. This isn't my original box or anything, but I had the original one, and it was just such a cool toy for me. Buried in all of that, hidden in all of that, is this non-announcement that they're bringing O-rings back.
Yes.
Like, what? That's news by itself.
I know. It was like the lead. Let me try it. Maybe I missed it already. but yeah, it was kind of like as it started, the return of the O-rings. Like, yeah, so freaking cool.
So that's a big deal. And the retro style figures, I get that doesn't appeal to everybody, whether we're talking about Star Wars, whether we're talking about G.I. Joe, we're talking about He-Man, whatever. But there's different levels. There's different sort of, groups for all the different kinds of collectors that are out there.
Yeah.
So I don't really consider myself either a vintage collector right now or an O-ring collector,
Yeah.
I have a good Skystriker. I have the 25th Skystriker. I've got tons of, vintage 3 3/4 G.I. Joe figures. So there wasn't a part of me that was like, I really need new 3 3/4 inch O-ring stuff. But I got to admit that, there's been some Kickstarters lately. There's been a lot of focus on this sort of this scale and the vintage look and whatever. So that when this popped up, I was like, it was just, for me, it was absolutely a no-brainer, especially with all the additional stuff they're throwing in, especially with that 2-man support crew that unlocked at 18, I think.
Yeah, it's that, it's weird. And I'm worried just based on the pacing if we'll get to
It's going to be fine. We're going to get there. No negativity.
We're going to get there tonight. It's going to happen.
We're done. We're getting there.
But yeah, because I do you still I remember you got the flag years ago and did a video on it. Did it like immediately leave you, or do you still have it?
I held on to it for a little while, but man, is that thing just a space eater. And I've seen some videos online of people. Yeah. I have to tell you. I've seen some people, there's some videos on YouTube, obviously, that are pretty, famous at this point for people who've customized it. They've raised the deck and put it on wheels and, park all their other vehicles and stuff in there. And that's great. And so at some point, my wife and I had talked about like, well, it's big, but what if we like made it into a piece of furniture? And what if, we had a room and we literally like, let's save the deck pieces. Cause I've got like multiple pieces of deck pieces. Those you find pretty easily if you want to, if you're looking for them. Like what if we just made like a bookcase, a bookshelf or display shelf or something using the deck pieces and then just built like shelves for the lower decks and stuff for the tower. And then just throw all your other stuff on there and display that. And so that's been sort of a project that I want to build towards there. And it was like, okay, do I really need to keep the actual flag itself? I had an original box that was gorgeous. And I also didn't want to be the person that had to be responsible for that box.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's a big responsibility as a collector, I mean, this Skystriker box is beat to crap. It looks good on the front. The rest of it is just super rough. So I don't mind hanging on to this box. If something happens to it, I won't feel super guilty. But like this gorgeous, clean flag box, I can't be responsible for that. Yeah. So I had a friend who was looking for a flag. He's an inbox collector. So I basically just packed that whole flag up, put it back in the box, nice and neat and whatever, and sold it to him at well below market price because I knew he was the right guy to have it and I knew he would take care of it.
Nice. I totally feel you on it's too nice for it to be in my collection because I'm kind of the same way, because if it's like a really nice, pristine example, I'm like, this is too much responsibility.
I'll take the beater.
Yeah, exactly.
And like I can't remember who does it, but there's a website who was doing like prints, and I think they ran a couple of Kickstarters for like the art of G.I. Joe and those kinds of things. I want to say at one point they had a really big USS flag box art print, and I was like, I'd rather have that. I'd rather pay $50, $100 or whatever, and have a nice framed print as opposed to being responsible for this box.
Exactly, because it'll take just one fall or one something to
your basement floods, a leak you didn't know about. Like, what am I gonna put that in a giant plastic bag or a snap case or something? Like, am I gonna rent storage to like keep it safe and then have to put insurance on it? I was just like, I don't want that responsibility.
Bring it to one of those wine cooler storage facilities,
temperature controlled, dehumidifier, and I don't want that. That's too much.
But these two pit crew figures, I'm like, oh my God, I think this is what sold me on it. I was like, oh, these would be so cool on the flag deck, just like, I'm like,
yes,
finally.
And like all the stretch goals are like, well, included just in the base is like their gear. You got the little fuel tank and the little armor, the weapons rack thing. Like you need those guys to drive that, and like my dad was in the Navy. So, he was in the Navy for like 30 years. aircraft carriers. You know, he was an avionics electrician working on F-14s. So like I've been, you know, up close with these things. Like I remember him having his like study guide, you know, that he needed to have, and just like flipping through that. I don't know if I was allowed to, I don't know if it was like classified or anything, but you know, flipping through it and just being like, oh my God, like if this is an F-14, like this is how you build this jet. Like this is all the electronics and stuff. And so, you know, being able to see all that stuff up close, those guys, you know, those pit crew guys, like those are the guys that he hung out with mostly. You know, those are the guys he knew. Like I got to wear those, you know, the headset and the vest and everything and go up on deck, you know, like that was, so I need those guys. So don't let me down.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And now like somebody needs to make like a custom Dan Larson pit crew.
Yeah. With the custom file card with the actual name on it.
Exactly. And I mean, the other figures are cool too. You know, Pilot Scarlet and Night Force, Ripcord. You know, like Ripcord was one of my favorite figures because he actually looked like a pilot. Ace didn't look like a pilot. Ace wearing a spacesuit. You know, I think they based Ace more on the flight suit for the pilots who were flying like the SR-71 Blackbird.
Yes, exactly.
Because the Blackbird could actually go deep, almost into the actual outer space.
Yeah.
And so they're wearing an actual like compressorized, you know, like pressurized like spacesuit. And I think that's what Ace is based on. So Ripcord.
That was always my bummer for me because like my dad was in the Navy, but I was really into military planes and stuff. We used to go to, because we live in San Diego, so we went to air shows all the time.
Oh yeah.
Obsessed with the Blackbird. So I was always kind of bummed the bad guys got the Blackbird, even though I had it. I was always more of a good guy person. But
they traded airplanes though. You got it back during Sky Patrol.
Yeah. But yeah, actually you did share, speaking of like being a fan of it since you were a kid, you did share some photos, I'm guessing childhood photos.
Yeah. So picture one, I numbered them 1 and 2. Picture number 1 is it's a photo of probably the happiest day of my life. Well, that's picture 2. We'll start with picture 2. That's fine.
There we go.
Okay, so picture 1 is like the happiest day of my life. That's Christmas morning, you know, 1984 or 83, whatever it was, getting that Skystriker. That's my brother. That's not actually me.
I was gonna say, I was like, man, maybe he just grew into his face. I don't know.
I was so psyched that he got the Skystriker because I knew he doesn't care about toys. So like he had a very, very brief window where he was into toys, and it was basically just G.I. Joe. So like whenever he got money, he would spend his money, you know, like grandma and grandpa give us like $10 in quarters, you know, he would go he bought the Vamp, he bought the, you know, the Wolverine, he got the Skystriker, and I knew all that stuff was coming my way. It was all coming my way. So he got the Skystriker, our lives changed. He played, you know, he had it for like 2 weeks and then it was mine.
And then the second picture here.
Yeah, so that's my cat. That was my cat Nico, and that's my Skystriker. That's on, you know, playing on the floor in the living room there, just hanging out with my cat. I got pictures of him in like Castle Grayskull. You know, I got him in my Boulder Hill box. Got him hanging out in my G.I. Joe headquarters. But I just want to say, like, this was, you know, this is the same kind of picture I would post now. This is internet gold. You know,
that's true.
It's not just vintage toys, but it's got a cat in it.
I mean, your cats do, you know, make appearances into your social media posts.
They'll probably pop up back here at some point. But so I also want to say, if you're looking at the Skystriker Haslab and you're questioning it, you're like, why are they re-releasing the same thing? It is a different mold. It's a completely different mold.
Yes,
it's exactly. A totally different airplane. This is the original Skystriker here. Do you have the 2011 or do you have the original?
This is OG. This is original. I've got two. This is my most complete one.
Yeah. So that's the original. Even the 2011 one is a totally different mold.
Oh, they didn't reuse anything in that one?
No, it's a completely different mold. The lines in the 2011 are so much sharper. It's a different plastic, but the lines are sharper. The nose is different. The tail hook is different. But it's pretty darn close. The intakes are a little different. The whole interior of the 2011 is completely different as well. And this one is different from both of those.
Wow.
So it's got, I mean, just looking at the pictures, you can see how much different it is. The guns are in different places and, you know, all that stuff.
Did they fix the landing gear wing problem in the 2011
So
version?
it has 2 levers. It has a lever for the wings and a lever for the landing gear.
Wait, in
Oh,
the
wow.
in the one they just re-released, or I know they're
The
doing that
Haslab.
new
The
one.
Haslab is going to have 2 different levers. That's what they
Mhm.
said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they showed it at PulseCon. Let me see if I can pull. I have the video here. Let me see if I can pull it up. But yeah, that, again, one, the extra O-ring figures, like the new O-ring figures, and the fact when they showed the independent wings and landing gear, that was another. I was just like, yes.
So another thing I want to point out on this picture you have on screen right here,
Mhm.
the missile attachments, the racks, like right there,
Yeah.
where the wing sort of attaches to the fuselage.
Mhm.
That right there, that I think they called it a dog bone clip or something like that.
Mhm.
That's a pin that allows you to actually mount the missiles the way they would be mounted on an actual F-14. Normally on the Skystrikers, you've just got the one.
Yes. The nub, right?
There's just the one pin there.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
this, you have that actual split sort of a Y pin that lets you put 2 missiles on that rack, which is how they actually load them out on an actual F-14. So there's just a lot more accuracy to the thing. It's also got a movable tail hook, as opposed to the attachment that you had to add to land it on the deck of the flag. The tail hook on the bottom, here, there's nothing sculpted on the 2011 version. The
Yeah.
vintage version. Put that there.
Yeah, let me make you big screen here. Hold on.
The vintage version doesn't have anything either. So the new one actually has a articulated tail hook on it.
Oh, no, don't fall, don't fall.
Fine.
Smooth. It was really smooth. Yeah, I mean, to me, yeah, God, it has so much, and that's where, I'm not as much of, critiquing the price, because I feel like it's pretty darn good considering everything that you get here, especially if we can get the extra tiers. But like the flight stand, because is this the first time it's been actually officially licensed by Northrop Grumman, or has it always kind of had that?
That's my understanding. They made a pretty big deal out of that. So
Yeah.
my understanding is that this is the first time they actually licensed it.
And to me, I was just like, this is perfect, because I still have enough space, because I have a Skystriker hanging in the air, and then I have one landed with the hook and everything, and then I want one kind of taking off, and this flight stand's perfect because I'll just be able to take off. I already got a space for it. So Dan, I wanted you to know I backed it today. I was like, I need to make sure
Excellent.
that the Proton had backs, but I backed today because I was like, I was 51-31.
Nice.
Today.
Excellent.
And I think we have a couple people in the chat say they just backed it as well. I believe, here we go. Jamie Vaughn, I just backed it. Already has the Snake Eyes / Stormstar order. Anyhow, yo, Joe. See, there we go. It's happening.
Excellent. I mean, that stand is nothing to sneeze at. That stand is a big deal.
Yeah, because it is. If you see when he's just playing with it, it's really cool.
It's substantial.
What's your thoughts on the extra sticker sheets too? Because I guess that makes it more accurate to a real deal one.
Yeah, I think that's pretty neat. It's tough because I don't want to buy 3 of them. I can't afford to buy 3 of them, so it's like you really got to make that call right out of the gate. Which deco am I going with? Cartoon accurate. Plus, it comes with 2 different tails. It comes with the white tails that match the body, and then it comes with the black tails that match, the box art and the cartoon and everything. So you've got some aesthetic decisions to make there. How do I want the physical thing of it to look, and then what deco do I want to actually put on it? So that's a real tough call. I actually years ago when the 2011 Skystriker came out, I ended up I bought a friend's collection, and I ended up with like 4 of these Skystrikers because I already had one of my own, and then he had 3 in his collection.
Oh wow!
And I was like, well, I'm not going to get rid of those. I'm going to hang on to those for a little while. But I did buy, I don't know, I can't remember what the name of the website was that was doing squadron, like real life squadron specific decal sheets for your Skystrikers. So I bought the squadron that my dad was in, VF-41, the Black Aces.
Oh wow!
With the intent that at some point, I've got a beater Skystriker that I was gonna, totally refurbish, repaint it, whatever, do all that stuff, and then put those decals on it. I just never did it. I need to like pay somebody to do that because I'm never gonna do it. I have all the materials, I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
So with this, it's neat to see the actual like Anytime Baby, the Tomcat logos and all that stuff, and then just the different kinds of tail decorations and stuff, the different cockpit names, the pilot names and stuff. But it's not going to push me to buy more than one, but maybe it'll push somebody else to buy more than one.
That's why I was interested during their presentation of it. They were like, oh, well, it's, you could tell they were angling for the multiple purchases, like kind of similar to how the Sentinel had I assume had to have multiple people like buying multiples of them.
There's some guy who posted a picture. He bought 14.
Like that's insane. That's
It
insane.
is.
But good for them. Good for them. Like, if I
Absolutely.
had 14 and considering the secondary prices, I'd be like, I can sell. I only need 7 Sentinels. It's fine. I can.
Maybe he sold. Maybe he bought 25. I don't know.
It's a good investment. That's like Dogecoin level investment there. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I think Hasbro was thinking there'd be a lot of people buying multiples of them. Given the pacing of the backing so far, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. But like, what's your thoughts on the pace of backing? It's bigger than the Rancor at the moment. But the Haslab Proton Pack just kind of like blew by it. But kind of what's your thoughts on, one, do you think it'll back? And then 2, do you think we'll get all of those awesome tiers?
So it's tough. I've seen a couple people in chat here mention the RoboSkull Kickstarter, and it was bad enough that Hasbro already had multiple Kickstarter Haslabs going at the same time, right on the heels of the Transformers, to have Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Ghostbusters all going at the same time. And the highly popular RoboSkull going on. And RoboSkull is new, fresh, exciting, compatible with both 4-inch and 6-inch action figures.
Yeah.
Looks like nothing else on the market. It's an amazing piece. You got Marauder Task Force, Marauder Gunrunners, in on that, making some of the figures and stuff, or making all the figures. So there is just so much momentum there, and people buying multiples of those. And that piece runs, I think, $220 is the minimum buy-in to get a RoboSkull.
Yep.
So that is absolutely affecting people's buy-in on this as well. Just two other Haslabs, that Kickstarter, all this stuff going on at the same time. I don't blame people for putting the Skystriker at the bottom of that,
Yeah, no, I absolutely. Is this it here? Right here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with the RoboSkull, Action Force, the UK equivalent of G.I. Joe from back in the day.
Yep.
This rolled out, the Mark 1 rolled out. I don't know if they've got a picture of the Mark 1 there anywhere. I'm not sure if they're allowed to use a picture of the Mark 1. But that's all it was. It's just this insane, it's a giant red skull with gun eyes and, TIE Fighter-esque design. And it's super hard to find, at least in the US. Obviously they're more common in the UK, but it's expensive, little pieces that get lost, all that sort of thing.
Yep.
So they've got this new modern design for it. I'm not trying to sell the RoboSkull, all right? We're selling the Skystriker. I'm just saying that this is
forget it.
This is hurting the Skystriker. So, but everybody here who's interested is probably already on the RoboSkull anyway. That thing blew past like $500,000. It's ridiculous.
It was like funded in 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, they had no problem just absolutely destroying their $78,000. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of times these independent toy makers are like they'll make it just so it gets back, knowing that it'd probably be a loss if it just got backed at that level. And I would assume that's the case here at only $78,000. I mean,
part of the strategy there too that I've seen from having spoken with people who've run multiple Kickstarters at this point is you intentionally put a lower goal than what you actually think you're going to get out of the gate, hoping that it triggers the hot pick on Kickstarter sort of thing because you just blew past your goal. And I'm sure that happened with this.
And Phineas, Dan just sold me on the red skull. Did he sell you on the Skystriker too?
Look, you got to go 1 for 1 on here, right?
We should have, Dan, I feel like it was a missed opportunity. We should have set this up like a PBS, or NPR. You should
have a tote board running up.
Yeah, exactly, and people on phones in the background.
A little have a animation triggered every time that number went up, a little jet flew across the screen, drop some bombs.
Let's see, we're at 51:36, so 2 more. I think you said.
All right.
We started.
I'm confident. 30 days out, I'm confident that that's going to hit. Just like with Kickstarters, the Haslabs always seem to have this moment of that, fear of missing out. Like right before it closes, everybody goes like, if you've been worrying about it for the last 30 days, then suddenly there's this panic. And, I don't know what the right course of action is as far as like show all the stretch goals at the beginning, like the Skystriker did, or keep them real close to the vest, like the Rancor is doing. And then the Proton Pack as well. I don't know what the right move is there. But as those things start to get unlocked, obviously they spur more people into, getting into it. So I'm confident it's going to get funded. I'm not as confident about the pit crew. So we'll see.
Please, pit crew. Like, just let me flip it. Like, I mean, Scarlet's awesome too. Anyway, Dartherian has a good point here. I figure we'll bring it here. The Rancor, like the Skystriker, is having a hard time not only to the other Haslabs, but the fight between collector styles. Star Wars has been historically more 3.75, and I assume he's referencing the fact that G.I. Joe has a really successful 6-inch line. Maybe people were really excited about.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm so tired of there's this idea that 3 3/4 inch Star Wars and 3 3/4 inch G.I. Joe, O-ring G.I. Joe are pointless without vehicles. First off, I don't get that. Like, I literally own a couple of Skystrikers. I think I've got maybe a Vamp, Serpentor's Air Chariot, and that's about the extent of my vintage vehicle collection. But I have hundreds of figures. Yeah, because I don't want the vehicles except for the Skystriker. I don't really care about the vehicles that much except for the Skystriker. I have plenty of the figures, so I don't really get this whole like I can't collect classified until they introduce vehicles because it's a line about vehicles. Are they cool? Yes. Should they make them? Sure. Why not? I don't care. But I first and foremost collect figures to go with the Skystriker. It's just I don't get that back and forth. Like, I don't understand. You guys collect more than one line. You've got He-Man. The Motu Classics. You've got the vintage stuff, the Origins. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's G.I. Joe. It's the Skystriker. Get in. If you can afford it, like, I get that it's a high price point. And even I think it's maybe 50, 75, maybe even $100 more than it should be for what it is. I totally hear that argument. But it's a G.I. Joe brand thing. Retro stuff has been hot for a long time. I am so excited that the Star Wars team has finally released. It seems like they've started to embrace bringing back the 5 POA figures. I don't know why they weren't doing that from the day episode 1 came out. Day episode 1 came out. Oh, look, we're going to start up the original vintage line again and just roll all these figures out. I'm psyched that they're back to that. And I'm not surprised that they're doing it with G.I. Joe. There's tons of 3 3/4 inch O-ring collectors out there. That Strike Force Alpha Kickstarter, that other one I was just telling you about before the show, they just got funded on theirs. They're no way associated with G.I. Joe, but those are going to blend perfectly with G.I. Joe.
Yep.
And they beat their stretch goal. They raised $116,000 for O-ring figures. The audience is out there.
Yeah. And I think John and I when Hasbro itself with their Kenner Star Wars, the Ghostbusters figures and Transformers, like bringing them back, and it's awesome. And
not even just bringing back like the Snake Eyes and the Storm Shadow they showed, like that's sort of like okay, we're bringing back the original figures, but this has new figures in it. When was the last time you got new vintage style, not the early 2000s ones that are kind of different and weird, legit vintage figures. The guy's on the box. Wayne Ruffle, he's in the seat right there. Like, guys that we should have had a long time ago. We're getting them now. Don't miss this.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I think it's like something we've argued about, like the Ghostbusters Kenner Class is like, okay, it's cool, but I already have these. Can you get to some of the ones we maybe never got? And
exactly,
awesome that they're doing it right out of the gate here with the return of O-ring for G.I. Joe. I think
we're about to have 2 different modern 5 POA versions of the Mandalorian.
Yes, yeah,
that's awesome.
It's great. It's great. I mean, I think especially this is my question for you. Does Boba Fett stick strictly to the original one, or now that there's new like Boba Fett 5 POA, but like the black?
No, because they did that like mail away rocket firing 5 POA based on the original mold. It's not the original mold, so even that one, you guys got a little special spot for that one, but I've only got one of that. I don't need multiples of that. It's the vintage one because I want I want it to be that old. I want it to be 40 years old.
Yeah.
But I love the ones that have a story, that have damage, that have paint, that have somebody's name written on them, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So the re-releases don't get added to that. The new costume Boba Fett that's in that Mandalorian retro line, like that's not going to be a part of that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. But what about in 40 years? And if you're still kicking it, does that mean?
I will put that chip in my brain directly, put it in the folder that says Boba Fett 2.
Oh my goodness. And I actually maybe it already went past. I think Chris Esposito. Yeah, a Mask re-release would be amazing too. That would be awesome because Mask has kind of been one of the neglected Hasbro properties that'd be really neat to.
And I will agree with the sentiment that is a line that has to have vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
I mean, it's that said, I was really excited when Matt Tracker showed up in the 25th anniversary G.I. Joe line, and I wish they'd done more with that.
Is he one of your big three or your main three or right? Four.
Yeah, Cap, Snake Eyes, Matt Tracker, and Boba Fett.
Yep.
Those are my dudes.
So I agree. I think I'll definitely get back and just hopefully I really just want the crew. I really want them. Maybe because it can make another crew set, but like in different colorways or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, Andrew Franks of Boss Fight Studios called them ketchup and mustard, and that's their call signs for me as far as I'm concerned.
That's perfect.
That's perfect.
Oh, that's too perfect. Yes, agreed.
It's like I would love for them to roll out a multi-pack of those. I would army build those because you need them for the deck of whatever Skystriker you have.
Exactly.
Two ain't enough.
And thoughts on the Rancor kind of bringing up the rear here with 4,000. It's a lower target, so it has that going for it, I guess.
Higher price point, lower target. Yep.
But thoughts here? I mean, they did reveal some more stuff. You got the Gamorrean Guard, which I think we expected to be, but it is a power of the Force with the coin and everything. They showed some more images of him being able to eat the Gamorrean Guard. But thoughts here on the Rancor? Honestly, I think it was kind of shocking to a lot of us in the toy collecting community that the Ghostbuster thing got backed first, and G.I. Joe is going pretty strong, and Star Wars is bringing up the rear. What's your thoughts there?
So I'm 100% positive this Rancor is getting funded. Will it unlock all the stretch goals? Once they reveal, and I don't have any inside information, obviously, I'm sure that Malakili, the Rancor keeper, is going to be a stretch goal.
Yeah.
Is Ula, the dancer, is she going to be a stretch goal? It's possible. We'll see. If those two hit, then those are going to get funded. There's no way Black Series collectors, Star Wars fans are going to miss an opportunity to get those two figures made. For sure. I'm positive this will get back. I think right now there's not a lot of excitement for it. It's not real. It's not hot. We haven't even seen what it looks like painted yet.
Yes,
at least the Skystriker, you're like, yeah, it's gonna look like that probably. But
I'm surprised. I'm shocked they still haven't. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they're working tirelessly around the clock to get to that point. And that's where John and I think we're talking last week about it. And do you think that? Maybe because it was leaked, they kind of pulled up the release date here because they thought, well, it's already been leaked, so we might as well do it. And maybe they were waiting for later because it seems like having 3 at the same time is a lot. Do you think maybe that had something to do with it since this seems to be so less already there compared to the Skystriker, which we're already?
I don't know. I'm leaning more towards the end of the financial year is coming up. And Hasbro's looking at this, and I don't know if you've seen as many articles as I have that said, and when I say toys, I don't mean adult collectibles. I mean the toys that Hasbro really makes their money off of. The stuff that they sell, millions of to kids, not adults. But I think there's been a lot of articles that say that stuff's not going to be out in time.
True.
So toy companies across the board that sell to kids for the holidays, and we're originally looking at Black Friday as being the point where they break even for the year. They're looking at this holiday season and going, where's this millions of dollars that we're normally expecting to have going to come from? And I would guess, this is me speculating again, that they might have sent a message out to the teams and said, run them. It's product we don't have to make, product we don't have to deliver, and all 3 of these are going to put 3 to 5 million in the bank for us. And we're going to be able to sit on that money for 2 years, That's my theory.
No, it's not a bad theory for sure. I will say this, I don't know, at least around me, and John, I don't know if you're feeling the same way, and you're kind of Northeast, but it seems like the Walmarts and Targets are getting pretty stocked right now. So my hope is maybe, things are getting in place. I don't know.
Yeah,
mine are not very stocked.
No? Okay.
I've never seen my Walmart as stocked as it is. It looks like they're about to have their grand opening. They're so full.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Mine, I collect the Jazzwares Halo figures, the Spartan
Yep.
collection, the like 6-inch ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
And my Walmart right down the street just put out full pegs of 2 waves ago. So that's like a year and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
They
Wow.
just stocked those. So,
Wow. Yeah, it's just seemed like the past couple of weeks, like just super stocked all of a sudden. So I don't know if they changed port directions or something and went to South Carolina instead of I don't know. I don't know.
From my experience, it seems like they come in California and
Mhm.
they kind of go down through the south of the United States,
Yep.
come up through Florida, through the
Mhm.
East Coast, and then if they have anything left on the truck, then they go to New Hampshire. Otherwise, they just take a left and go back to California.
Well, at least you have the beautiful scenery there. It's a very beautiful state.
Yeah,
Very
at
nice.
least the internet exists.
You got no taxes.
Right, exactly.
Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see. Cyber video. Oh man, if there's an Ola, I might have to back the Rancor. See, now you've sold the Rancor,
There it
Dan.
is.
You're just
selling them all.
You know what they should do for the last stretch goal on the Rancor is Jabba's platform for the Jabba that they sold 10 years ago.
They could. I mean, it's one piece of just a rectangular piece of plastic with some things on the ends. Like even if it was just as complex as the vintage one, like
right.
I don't think that would really cost that much.
Yeah. The rest people are chiming in about theirs. Let's see, Phineas, he's getting wave 7 of Origins right now, which is great. Minecraft hashtag not my Walmart. And Connecticut Walmarts are like ghost town, so that kind of backs up that thought there. All 12 Walmarts here are a ghost town, power tools. If you watch his channel, I think he goes like to other states to try and find stuff. I'm sorry for that, PTB. Tucson, Arizona, Toyota is empty, like 50 trailers outside. Let's see, my Walmart is weak sauce. So maybe we're just lucky here in North Carolina right now, which has been a ghost town up until this point. Neither does Florida. So PTB's in Detroit. That's right. The Detroit area. We did have a super chat coming in here. Oh, where did it go? Darn it. I want to pass it in. There it is. Looking forward to the bats, but it makes me want to ask you, when it comes to army building, what is the magic number to get? For me, it's 6 or 8. Dan, your thoughts? Then I'll go to John.
On the classified bat,
yeah,
when that hits the Python Patrol, I only ordered one of those. I'm fine with one of that sort of special deco. For the regular bat, when those eventually do go back up for pre-order, it's my understanding that those are going to be an everywhere release. Everybody's going to have those. Target, Walmart, GameStop, everybody's going to have that piece. Amazon. I'm probably just going to keep ordering them until they run out. So I don't know what that number is. Same with the Alley Viper. When those two hit, like I posted a picture the other day. I've got like 15 or 18 of each of the vintage ones. I love those two troops so much. They're just so pure into the core of, the stuff I loved when I was a kid and still love about action figures. That Alley Viper paint, those color scheme makes absolutely no sense for anything. They're like, what are they, Garden Shea Stadium? Who cares? I don't know. I love the design, and they're just so nuts, and the shield and all of it. So I'll probably end up with 8 to 10 of each of those. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. John, how about you? What's your thoughts here?
As far as the bat, I will probably get 2 or 3. I'd like to have one head displayed with each one, similar to how I did my Eternian Palace guards for the classics. Get a variation with everything that they came with available to that figure. But like Dan, I will army build the crap out of Alley Vipers. That's the figure I have been waiting for since we've seen the box art on the back of Classified.
Well, and I'm a little surprised because they don't match the box art. The box art,
no, they don't.
The design that's on the back is a little bit more modern styled, and the colors are a little different, whatever. And so, ever the optimist, I'm like, well, maybe they've still got that one in the pipeline coming. Maybe that's going to get a redeco or repaint of this, whatever. 25th, 30th anniversary Joe stuff. They rolled out that Alley Viper mold over and over and over again. I got at least one of each of those. So I'm fine if they want to do that with this one.
Yeah. And I do hope that they'll do an Alley Viper that came with, remember how they did one where it came with like a Cobra logo shield rather than like the football shield?
And it had the different helmet. It had the actual like fanged helmet.
Yeah, that's one I'm hoping we'll get a redeco with that guy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Checking back to the chat, it looks like there's like maybe only 2 Walmarts in the country that have gotten a lot of stuff, and so
and they have like all of it. They've got like end caps full
Yes.
of classified, like.
Well,
my shelves are stocked, and then the aisles are still filled with pallets.
Yeah.
Oh man, dang, Toys R Us 10 minutes for me used to have everything I wanted. It was so great. Plus they'd hold stuff for me all the time. Yeah, Dan, your killing KB Toys and killing Toys R Us videos are some of my favorite ones you ever did.
Thank you.
It was funny and sad and tragic all at the same time. It was amazing.
It's nice when all those elements can come together: funny, tragic, sad, poetic.
And really informative too. I mean, your videos are always pretty informative, but those were like, I was trying to explain like Bain Capital to, I think, my mom or something. I was like, let's watch this video.
Let's watch this video about Toys R Us.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Anyway, always in Big Lots. Yeah, like with and Mr. Home Loans and NC guy as well. But yeah, Big Lots getting the dang Motu Origins troopers.
Yeah.
Have you seen any, John? I haven't gone yet. It's like Big Lots is so out of my routine.
I went Friday. I can't remember. Maybe no, Thursday. I went Thursday. No luck.
No.
But I was surprised they still had the WWE Universe rings. And I haven't seen those in a long time. And they're stocking up on all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Big Lots is the infamous store that got the Matty collector dump.
Yes.
Yeah. We have no Ollies where I am. I used to live in upstate New York, and there's Ollies everywhere, and I'm like jealous of Ollies, the people shopping there right now. But we've got Big Lots all over the place here. And so when Matty collector made that dump, I went to like Vermont, Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut. I was just like, I gotta hit them all.
What was do you still have ones that you haven't taken out of the box, like in your garage or something like I do?
No. And even then I was like, I'm only gonna grab the ones I need. I'm only gonna grab the ones I want, so
I think I only found them once, and it was the Molar set and Vigo the Carpathian, and I still have them in the garage.
I got pretty lucky. I got almost all the ones I wanted, and then there were a few that I ended up, friends, other collectors and stuff were getting them in their area, so we were able to either buy off of each other or whatever.
Yeah. All right, so we know your thoughts on every Haslab except for the Proton Pack tonight. Did you back the pack? Hashtag.
So I think that one got funded fast, because I'm guessing people are buying multiples of those. I've definitely seen, people sort of make the statement of like, yeah, I bought one for myself and then 2 more for my friends. We're gonna cosplay together. That sort of thing. I didn't back it. I'm really not that much of a Ghostbusters fan. I liked the movies. I didn't really watch the animated series when it was out. I absolutely had none of the toys. It just wasn't my thing. It wasn't my franchise. So it's neat. Whenever I see people, wearing the like screen accurate stuff at conventions and stuff, I'm like, oh man, that's cool. But if I was going to drop $400 on a prop replica or something, I'd probably go buy a couple of sideshow lightsabers or something like that.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's just Ghostbusters. It's just not in like my top 10 franchises. No,
that's fine. And I think it's one. You're right. I think there is multiples, and I think the price point. I think a big prop replica like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just because prop masters for so long, or people that would make them would charge $2,000 for a good Proton Pack. You're looking at $399 is like a bargain. It's like basement prices.
And there's something to be said for the fact that it was scanned from the actual movie prop, and that's a degree of accuracy that I don't care how many photographs or screenshots you're looking at from the movie, you're not necessarily going to get. It's a little questionable that they didn't include the wand, but hey, you know what? Everybody else who backed it disagrees with me, so more power to you.
Here's my question. If they made a glow in the dark one, would you buy it?
I'm waiting for the translucent one filled with goo,
Yeah, I think they did do some updates here. One, they confirmed it was 1/1 scale, and they were almost like, I think on their Instagram, they were like, if we say 1/1, it legally has to be actual scale. And we mentioned this, when it first dropped. It looks like they had, areas to connect an Alice frame. Yes, to confirm that it will connect to an LC1 field pack frame. And they also, there was a leaked list that we shared on the show last week. And that first tier, that classic pack, that classic stretch goal, ended up being true with the sticker sheet as well as the connector hose to your Spangler Neutrino wand.
Oh,
so
okay, it does have the hose. Well, now I'm going to back it.
that was it. That was holding me back.
That's good. And I know that I haven't paid attention to see if the wands are still available. Obviously, I know they produced that item already and that it was still in stock some places as of, at least a week or 10 days ago.
Yeah, so what they're doing, they I think they sold out, but they sell the pre-order as well. They opened up additional pre-orders for another shipment of them for June 2022. But it looks like it sold out on Hasbro Pulse. But I believe Entertainment Earth and some others were selling this new shipment of the wand as well. So hopefully it's not too hard to get one.
Well, I'm curious to see if they're going to do any other packs or if they're just going to draw the line at this pack.
It's one of those things, like it was pretty quickly back. So what does this mean for Hasbro or Ghostbusters Haslab projects? Like, do you do a big Stay Puffed or do you do an Ecto one? Like, does this give Hasbro the confidence to do something else? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think anybody's ever done the mood slime.
Packs. The slime blower. Yeah. So yeah, the possibilities are endless with that. And then Super 7 somehow is able to release a new, or at least, open up a new line of wave of figures every other week, I feel like. And they announced their second wave of G.I. Joe Ultimates. And this one, the first one didn't sell me. This one's got me close to the trigger finger. Dan, what's your thoughts here on these Super 7 figs?
I was definitely kind of like, when wave one, a lot of times there hasn't been that many times that there's been a new G.I. Joe line, but Snake Eyes is like your center, what does Snake Eyes look like? That's going to determine whether or not I buy in.
Yep.
And like a lot of other people, I was like, wow, that is accurate, but I just don't know if I like it.
Same here for John and I say.
Yeah. So, but throwing the bat there in wave one was like, okay, that is a left turn I wasn't expecting. So that tells me that they're going to be going different places with this, and they're going to be looking at some of the stranger characters, and that it's not just going to be Cobra Commander, Duke, Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Route. So we're going to get a little deeper into this line, and so that's exciting. And so now I'm thinking down the road as a collector. Okay, when we get to wave 4. Next week or whatever, when we get to wave 4 and they show off an Alley Viper or something, am I going to regret that I didn't get Duke?
Yeah.
Yeah, wave 1 didn't super excite me, except for the fact that they were so animated style. I don't have a lot of attachment or like need to have those. I think classified really is the aesthetic that I like in a sort of modern figure right now. I'm not super in love with the Mezcos, but in general, I just don't like Mezco 112 that much. I know people love it, and that's great. It just isn't really my thing. Cost for what you get, for the look, for the cloth, it's not my thing. These do make me a little nervous because to me, just looking at them, they remind me of Diamond Select figures. And Diamond Select figures have a tendency to look really, really great. And they got a lot of articulation and stuff, but they're just not as posable, as Classified or Marvel Legends or even Black Series or anything like that. So I'm I really would like to see one of these in hand. And I know Veebs over at the Fwoosh posted an interview with Brian from Super 7 yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Where he's got the Paint Masters, like in his hands and he's moving them and stuff, but he can't move them that much, and it's like, well, we're getting closer. So I have both wave 1 and wave 2 pre-ordered, even though I'm also not in love with this Baroness.
Right. I think, yes, a few people were saying, Bernie Davis here, not big on Blue Baroness. It's same things like Snake Eyes. Like, oh, it's too accurate. But
yeah, exactly.
I'm with the Lady J looks amazing. So it's like it goes kind of two ways,
I think that Destro is amazing, and that Destro, like I thought Mezco was going to have the best Destro, and then I was like, I don't know, Classified and Mezco both look great. I have Classified, and I really, really like it. And then I saw this, and I was like, that might be the best Destro, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. John, your thoughts? Because you're kind of meh. I think we were both kind of meh on wave 1. But what's your thoughts on wave 2, John?
Yeah, I'm still in the same boat. Like with wave 1, I'll judge it on, can I fit this in with classifieds? So with wave 1, I think the best one to fit in with classifieds is Cobra Commander. Now that we're getting a classified bat, I can scratch off Super 7's bat. I don't need it. But this Destro, this one is money. This is the Destro right here. And he looks taller, so he will scale better with classifieds. I mean, I think, because these are these a 7-inch scale?
Yes, I believe so.
I think this Destro might be my new classified Destro, and I'll just cherry pick Super 7 Joes as this continues. I'm really happy with my Lady J that I have now, so this one can take a walk. I don't need any more.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't blame anybody for passing, in a 7-inch scale like this. I don't blame anybody saying my whole collection is classified. It's 6-inch scale. I can't move to 7. I can't have Lady J be the same height as Flint. Like I need them to be different heights.
Right.
Yeah. So I get that. I get that passing. I absolutely get not liking the cartoon aesthetic. That's just not what you want in your collection. I totally hear that. I didn't think I was going to go for it. And then, they revealed wave 1 and I was like, I can't, I got to at least try them. Most of this is the thing. Most of the stuff right now, especially all these adult collectibles, whether it's Super 7 or Mezco or the Haslabs or whatever, they at least retain their value. As long as you don't like dip them in spaghetti sauce or anything, like just take care of them, keep the box for a little while. If you get it, if you doubt it, you don't like it, then just put it on the secondary market and get your money back. You're going to get your money back out of it. That's not a guarantee. I'm not a financial consultant.
No toy collector should be one, I think.
Yeah. But you're probably going to get your money back. Even just like regular Black Series and Marvel Legends and stuff. A lot of that stuff still retains its value and you can at least get your money back out of it.
Yeah.
So it's, do you have the ability? Do you have the resources? Are you in a position where you can actually invest and put the money out to be able to get it initially to make that decision later? Because all this stuff, especially Super 7, you got a 1 month, like order window or however long it is for Super 7. And then that's it. You might not ever be able to get it at regular price.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm with you. It's like I want to see these in person first, and then I'll decide. But to your point, like, okay, then maybe wave 4 by that point, like, crap, now it's like $1 bajillion in secondary market, and just wait.
Yes, that's the bane of Mythic Legions collectors.
Right?
Oh yeah. I'm curious. Did you jump on any Cosmic Legions?
I did. I didn't go in. It's funny. Like I really liked their sort of troop builders, just the sort of generic space guys.
Yeah.
I didn't really love the sort of main characters, especially because some of those prices were a little bit. I've never really been big on like the whole space bug thing, like the space bug character. And that seems to be a pretty prominent thing in a lot of sci-fi things. So I was like, we're doing bugs. I'm going to pass on the bugs. I'm all set. They're gorgeous figures.
Sure.
But if I got to pick and choose and I can only afford to get like 2, 3, 4 of them, then I'm going to go with these cool army builders that are in spacesuits with cool helmets, and that's good enough for me. I can throw skeleton heads on those. It's going to be great.
Right. Yeah.
We have another super chat. Thank you, Todd Smith. Dan J. John, after the O-Ring 2-pack of Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, as well as Skystriker, which you can back right now on HasbroPulse.com. What should Hasbro do to make O-Ring return a big hit? Dan, what do you think? How do you
2-pack? Obviously, Alley Viper and Bat, right?
There you go.
Obviously,
Yep.
Sell them in 12 packs. Personally, I would like to see I don't know if you know the Headhunter Stormtroopers. That's one of my favorite army builders from the original Joe line. And I didn't know that about that figure until years, probably like 10 or 12 years after the line was already done. Like maybe it might have been like 2008, 2009 before I ever even heard of that figure. And then I was like in love with it. I'm going to start army building Headhunter Stormtroopers. And like at the time they were only like $4 or $5 on eBay. So I was just like, buy it. But then after that, the prices started to go up. And I think they actually did a JoeCon set that had like a new version of the Headhunter Stormtrooper in it. And then the prices just went nuts after that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because they used to be easy to complete. It was a backpack and a sawed-off shotgun. That was it. That's all it came with. But
Mhm.
it's the classiest looking Cobra figure.
So there's Headhunter, who is the guy that
Yes.
has the Cobra Commander sort of faceplate and the
Yeah,
beret.
and he's got like the does he have a ponytail?
I don't think well, there's I think he's Headmaster or something like that.
Headmaster.
That's the guy. He's
Headmaster.
got like a domino mask
Yes.
and like a
Yep.
goatee or whatever. And then
Yep.
he's got a ponytail and a pinstripe suit.
Yep.
And then there are the Headhunters, I think is their names, which is the like gold faceplate guys. Headhunter Stormtroopers are skull-faced looking guys.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm killing
yes.
myself. Yeah, those guys.
Okay.
Look at that guy.
Yeah. I was just thinking of the regular headhunters with the gold face.
These guys. These guys come with weapons on a sprue.
They're weapons for days.
Yeah, no, those guys are the best.
Yeah, these guys were cheap.
Yeah, if they roll
Very
these
cheap.
guys out in classified, yikes.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
But I mean, let's send them a message. Let's back the Skystrikers so they know how much we want these Headhunter Stormtroopers to come back.
I know, right? And that's the thing that I worry about, because I've really, I totally get the critique of it, right? Of like bringing back, the things that are vintage or whatever. Like I understand that, but I don't know. It's fun. Like for me, toy collecting should be fun. And I've had so much fun this past year or so of just like all like Motu Origins and Kenner Classics, and it's just fun, and the O-ring stuff coming back, I think, since it's been so long, and since they kind of halfway dipped their toes in re-releasing those 25th figures on the vintage backs, and we're like, why aren't you doing O-ring stuff? And then now they're doing it, and it's just so, I don't know, like I really want this to be successful.
It's right there. I mean, so many people, there's still a big market of people who've been doing custom O-ring stuff and just building out that whole, still repainting them, doing their own molds, making new characters and stuff. It's still there. And maybe Hasbro was looking at it and saying like, we did have those sort of Toys R Us packs and Valor versus Venom and all this other stuff, and we want to give it some more time. I don't know. I'm not privy to any of that stuff. I just know what I see on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Just at shows, there's still an audience for it. And if Hasbro's got a window to capitalize on it for a little while, why not take that shot?
Agreed. Michael Miller agrees. 12 hacks. Hope Hasbro is listening. And let's see. I think they said the O-ring line would stay a Pulse exclusive. That's fascinating if that's the case. Buzzsaw and Barbecue 2 pack. Let's see. Dartherian learn from Star Wars Vintage and start doing Cobra Trooper packs. Absolutely.
All good ideas.
Let's see. Alpha Magnus. Alpha Magnus. I'm all in for the classified size aesthetic. I'm going in for Roboskull Mark II. These Haslabs are all a slight miss for me. I did both of the Transformers ones. Well, that's all right. I mean, hey. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you don't have to do it. I mean, what's your thoughts on kind of the controversy of the Haslab model? Or do you just kind of feel like, if you want to get it, get it? That's how I kind of feel like. If you like it, get it. If you don't do it.
Look, if it didn't work, they wouldn't do it, but it worked. Right. And so if you don't like it, too bad. I don't understand like this idea that look, okay, Joe commenter, you are Mr. Hasbro now. You have the option to, with no risk, find out if you can sell $3 million worth of merchandise up front without having to do jack crap. Like, of course you're going to do that. You'd be stupid not to. I don't blame Todd McFarlane. Oh, he's got the money to do it. Yeah, of course he does. And he's got more money because he does smart things like that.
Yeah.
Throw a Kickstarter out there for a figure that 90% of the people who went in on it, from the comments I see, didn't even want it. Thought it was a stupid idea, and yet they went in for like 3 of them. Like, he's not the idiot. Like, come on.
And the aftermarket's littered with them now.
Yeah, but Todd's happy. He just started a TV studio.
Yes. He's got Oprah money now.
I don't blame that guy.
Nope.
So, I mean, do I like that being the model? No. And part of the reason that like I'm in on the Roboskull currently only at the 1/6-inch figure level, because I'm $230 in on the Skystriker, and I'm not sure I want to go 220. And this is, again, they've met their funding level, and nothing I say is going to affect that. But when it comes to Kickstarters, I try to be careful with companies that haven't produced anything before.
True,
because
right.
It is a format that's wrought for scammers and stuff. Marauder Gunrunners being involved with that and working on the action figures, knowing that I have backed they've got money of mine right now on their Vietnam Kickstarter.
Mhm.
I trust them that they're going to get that stuff done, even if there
Yeah.
might have been some hiccups along the way. So I'm
Yeah.
confident that RoboSkull is going to deliver, that thing's going to come out. But
Mhm.
those are all factors in those equations of like, where am I
Yeah.
going to put my money? Who's going to hold it? I would like to hold on to it for the next 2 years, but you know, if I'm going to get this thing at a reasonable price, I gotta go in on it. So
That's true. That's true. That's the next wing of the media or Toy Galaxy media verse, is you have the Kickstarter aspect to the
we've talked about it, but there's nothing really there for us, you know, right now. If I was going to do a Kickstarter, I would reach out to and contract somebody who already knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I would just plug it. I would be like, go check out this Kickstarter that I have nothing to do with. You know, I'm not designing it. I'm not making it. I'm not doing anything. I'm just telling you to go give it money, you know, so it can get done. Because you let the professionals do what they do best. I'm not going to get in the way of any of that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, have some. Another great channel. Check it out if you haven't already. Just back the Rancor Skystriker. They will go great with my WWE New Gen ring, Galactus Laser Crest.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Exactly. Yeah, don't look at your Big Bad Toy Store pre-orders or anything like that. Don't look at that. They've got stuff ordered for 2 Christmases from now.
Well, see, like Big Bad doesn't get me as bad as my Sideshow pre-orders. Like another Hot Toy, just like when I was like, what, $200 something out of my account? What did I do on Sideshow? I was like, oh yeah, that Rex Hot Toy I did like a year ago. I forgot about that one. Dang it.
I avoided that rabbit hole with a passion. Like I have my Kenner homage Boba Fett. I have First Avenger Cap, and that was when you could get a Hot Toy for like $100.
You're right. You're right.
Yep,
Yeah,
they were cheap, and that was expensive. But
yeah, right. Yeah.
So I have my First Avenger Cap, and I have Kenner homage, Boba Fett colors, and that's it. I'm out. I'm out. And no more Hot Toys for me. I'm good. Thank you very much. Just like Ninja Turtles, once NECA did the movie Turtles, those are my ideal turtles. I'm out. No more turtles for me. I don't need anything else. I'm done.
That's 100% fair. And speaking of those 90 Turtles, NECA, and it was kind of, I think, against their will a little bit. They got leaked, and then they kind of did an official post about it. But they're doing a Farmhouse 2-pack with April O'Neil and Casey Jones as they were seen at April O'Neil's family farmhouse. But thoughts here on this set? Is this a little too kind of unique to be added to your 90s collection, Dan? Or do you?
Yeah, I grabbed the Casey Raph 2-pack,
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately sold it to a friend. I was just like, I bought this because I was there and I knew how rare it was, and I was like, oh, but what if I'm going to get all of the movie Turtle stuff? What if am I going to get Shredder? Am I going to get Splinter? I need this. So I bought it, and then I was like, I think I only actually want the Turtles. So I sold it to a friend of mine. This this Casey figure is like, how much you want to pay for a guy in dirty sweatpants? Like, it's so gross. It's so gross. And the seam at the hips right there, like it looks like he's wearing underpants over his sweatpants. Like
he's still wearing his cup or whatever.
Throw in was that Gatorade? Like it looks great though, and from what I understand is it seems like they had some trouble getting the licenses for both. I can't remember the actor's name.
Judith Hogue and Elias Koteas.
Yeah, it seems like there was some issues getting likeness rights on them, so I don't blame them for making as many different versions of these characters as they can, especially because the fans do want them.
Yeah, 100%. But for me, like I limited it to the 90 Turtles for the NECA stuff, and so like Casey Jones is my favorite Turtles character, so I got the Raph Casey 2-pack, and I just got the Ultimates one so I could have the Elias Koteas head sculpt, and then I got the April O'Neil. Even if they fix the knees here, I still don't think I need this set. John, are you even getting the NECA movie Turtles? I don't remember.
Nope, I'm sticking with the Super 7 for Turtles and just drawing that line. Because you already have some of these figures, Casey's arms, like his elbow cut,
it's weird.
Are they all that bad? I mean, he's got like a weird skin flap.
I think it's just since it's all arm, it's just the proportions look off in this one. Like,
well, and I think that elbow is different from the first release elbows.
Exactly.
The first release elbows were that weird like middle joint, I think.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. And it's a weird joint. It looks weird.
And so super super sweatpants.
Exactly.
Like they should have just given him soft good sweatpants and hid all of that.
Maybe people really want it to be very accurate. You know, I don't like.
I haven't watched the movie in a while. Maybe that's what he looks like.
Is
I don't know.
that accurate? Is that screen accurate?
I'm trying to remember. You know, I think so. Yeah, because he I don't know. You know, it's it was one of those things where when they did the Hot Toys Robin from Batman Forever, and the Schumacher cod piece in that one was way more. I don't know. In the Hot Toy, it looked far more full featured.
Yeah.
But I pre-ordered it anyway because I was like, this is Robin's one of my favorite characters of all time, so I need this figure. And I don't mind if I guess he's packing heat. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I think it's past for me. But I know there's some fans, that'll dig it. Release the Schumacher cut. Let's see. It was Dan's. Yeah, your latest toy history was Turtles, even though it was in the 90s, or at least
Next Mutation. Yeah.
Next Mutation. But actually, I did want to bring this up real quick. Your not that one, but the one before that, your Beetlejuice video. Honestly, it was one of the most impressive, I don't know, YouTube videos I've ever watched, because you did this bit where you changed from being your normal self into Beetlejuice, and then back and forth every time.
I couldn't get that snake out of my sleeve. It was like a really heavy rubber, like thick snake, and I was like, "Oh God, it just won't come out."
But how tough was this to pull off? I just, it was like just, YouTuber to YouTuber. Well done. That was masterful. That was masterful.
Without giving away too many of the secrets, it was not that hard, honestly.
Oh, really? Okay, all right.
Greg and I, we had sort of simultaneously had the idea to do that gag. Like, it was just one of those things where you work with somebody for long enough, you just know that the other person, what they're going to want to do, and that was just the first gag that we went to. Not that I was going to be Beetlejuice, but that we were going to do the swap back and forth. And once we had sort of mind melded on that, like, and agreed that we were going to do that gag, we talked about whether or not I was going to do like a character, when I pop over to Beetlejuice, am I going to be, Beetlejuice? And he was like, that's going to complicate the edit. It's going to be too hard to sync the sound because some of those hits are going to happen mid-sentence.
Yes.
And it's going to be jarring for you to go from speaking in your regular Dan Larson voice to speaking in a Beetlejuice voice, whatever. It'll be weird.
Yeah.
So we basically we shot the video once, wrote the script, read and performed the entire script all the way through, and then took a beat. I got dressed, did my hair, did my makeup. We redressed the entire set, shot it all the way through a second time, and we just did, our regular shoot. So it was basically a shoot that was twice as long as normal.
Yeah.
And then he took it, and we had a little bit of padding in the sort of second half of the video, because he usually puts like a commercial or something in about halfway through. And we wanted to count those mentions of Beetlejuice as well. So he knew he'd be able to push one or two Beetlejuices depending on where he wanted the changes to hit, sort of like in the second half of the video. We have a take of me being as Beetlejuice, obviously, at the end of the video before we go into the end slate. But he wanted it to end with me as Dan, as opposed to this look. So he sort of pushed it one and was able to hit it on that. So he, as far as an edit goes, it might have been a little bit longer for him. I think the most challenging part of it was there's that sort of wipe that comes out as the transition between the regular and the Beetlejuice. Yeah. Rotoscoping that and doing that and making sure that hits just right. That's what took him the longest to sort of set. But
again, like, editing my own videos, that's what I found impressive, was just because it just was so natural. Like, I was just like, if I try to do this in Final Cut Pro, I've just been like killing myself for hours and hours and hours.
But it's crazy because, like, we've been doing this for so long that he knows my mannerisms and he knows my voice and my stupid face and everything else better than I do. He's so tired of looking at me, so tired of hearing me at this point. Like, but he knew that on both of those takes, both of those through, that I was going to make the same hand motions and they were going to hit at the exact same time. He just knew that what was going to happen. There's that consistency to the performance. So he didn't really have to do that much. And if it was that different, if my hands hit here on a word, but and then as Beetlejuice, they were over here, the wipe was going to hide that anyway.
Okay.
So, but most of the time I'm sitting there with my hands in my lap anyway. So just so we're very impressed. We're very pleased that, you know, people who have seen it have made that comment that, oh my gosh, what a complicated edit. What an amazing thing. What a production thing. And it really wasn't that much more work on our end. It's just that our process is to the point where we try to put out as professional looking a thing as possible. And it looks like more work than it was.
Wow.
So don't tell anybody that. Everybody in chat, keep it quiet.
Yeah, no, it's Dan Taylor. Maybe speaking maybe from Greg's behalf here. I used to edit videos for my church, and man, did grow to hate the sound of my pastor / the side of his face after editing his videos for weeks.
Yeah. I hear that.
Mr. Greg's the true hero of the Toy Galaxy universe, right?
He is, yeah, sure.
But anyways, yeah, I definitely just called. I was just like, again, I think I even called my wife in. Called my wife in. I was like, you gotta see this. This is amazing.
Thank you.
Really appreciated that one. All right, last little bit of news here, just a little bit, just real quick, because this kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Super 7 Undercover RAF as a BBTS exclusive. That was a shocker.
I don't think I saw that. I didn't realize it was exclusive.
Yeah, and again, kind of a figure that's really expensive if you want like the cloth goods Undercover Turtles figures. John, did you pick this up? Because I know you're all in a Super 7.
Not yet. I am going to pick it up though.
Yeah, I did too.
I am still a little back and forth about that last wave in their joints. My figures can't stand up.
Mine have stayed. They're still standing. Like, it took a while, but I got them in a position where they're still upright. But I'm sorry yours have not been. That stinks.
No, my Mikey is the worst. I actually had him climbing up on Bebop, like up on his shoulders, just to get him off of his feet.
Yeah. Michael, this stream has me feeling like a damn Super 7 shell. I need to calm down. It's okay. There's no
it's all right.
Accusations of we're shilling because we're fans. We're just really big fans.
It's enthusiasm. It's not shilling.
Yes.
I'm gonna get it anyway.
It'd be shilling if you're getting paid. You're not getting paid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I think like a lot of people think YouTubers are way more influential or powerful than we really are. When it's like, oh, you just give. I was like, no, we just do this in our spare time. I mean, yeah, you have a very successful channel, but you still have like a day job, right? You have a normal life that's outside of this stuff, right?
No, this is it. This is it. I had a day job up until about earlier this year. Actually, I had a day job up until about February, March, somewhere around there, and then we had reached a point where we were able to go full time. You know, we had been building Toy Galaxy from the beginning as to be a sustainable business.
Yeah,
and it made making some difficult decisions along the way. If you don't have to go back very far in our video library to see 4 minutes or less individial figure reviews and verses and retro reviews and booth videos and those kinds of things. But they just didn't get views for us. They helped us build the channel and build the audience from the sort of toy community. Yeah. But there's a ceiling on that, and that's just the reality. There's only so many people that are interested in watching those videos. And if you want to grow as a business, you have to start to reach out beyond that. And so we had to sort of pay attention to the algorithms and the views and all that stuff and go where it told us to go. And that was the history videos.
Yeah. No, and the shift has been, as I think I've been subscribed to, it's like you had like 7,000 subscribers. I think I found you on Instagram or whatever.
That's a long time ago.
And so it's been cool to watch like your journey. But I totally get it. Even having, we're small, like really itty bitty small potatoes in comparison, but just like learning how the YouTube algorithm works and everything, I totally get, the focus on the history videos. But it's neat that you still have Toy Galaxy 2. Because if the old school style Toy Galaxy stuff, it's nice.
Yeah, it's hard, and I want to do more with that. I'm still the same person, who do the 4 minutes or lesses, and Boba Fett, all this other stuff. That's still me. But in terms of this being a job, it's like the videos that we make now. We produce basically a 20-minute show once a week. One writer, and one editor. And that's it. And that's a tough show to put together. And, and some of these things that we have covered, Thundercats, Transformers, GoBots, those things have been covered by almost every channel on in this community on the internet.
Yeah.
There is ample information about those franchises out there.
Yeah.
But you got to dig if you want to find something on Sky Surfer Strike Force. Like,
Yeah,
there's not a lot of information out there on that. You know, we've hit a couple of things at this point, more and more recently, because we're getting past the sort of core.
Yeah.
That we got to do our own research beyond just sort of what's easily available. We really got to dig and look and put some pieces together and follow the trails and almost become journalists. Yeah, and I didn't sign up for that. I don't want to be a journalist, you know. I don't want to have to do research like that. That's in depth, you know. Like, we recently, our Real Ghostbusters video that we did a couple weeks ago, it's probably like 22 minutes long or whatever.
Yeah.
We were both talking about the fact that we're like, you know, should we do a Ghostbusters one? Like, we just did Real Ghostbusters. It was like 5 years ago. Either 4 or 5 years ago. And that video was like 7 minutes long. And it's like, well, I think we left some stuff out. I think we can cover it again and put some more stuff in. So
yeah.
It's just
what I love about that one is like Ghostbusters, especially Real Ghostbusters, is my number one. I've been in the online Ghostbusters community since the 90s. And what I loved is you got into it. You got into like every little minutia of Real Ghostbusters, which was really nice.
Like, you know, there's shows out there, you know, Toys That Made Us. There's more people involved with that, and I'm assuming there's more money involved with that. You know, you don't get to put a show together for Netflix without getting
Netflix money,
some kind of payment, I think. You know, so you know, they have the time and the access to the people who actually worked on the stuff, and they can call them up or email them or get the pictures or shoot the interview or whatever that stuff. You know, we don't have that luxury. You know, we've got like a 4-day prep period, and then we got to shoot. You know? Like, and we got to move, and that's the good and the horrible part of YouTube. You know, like 5 o'clock Thursday every single week, you got to hit it. That's what YouTube wants. And if you can't do that, then you're only going to grow so much, you know, unless you've already built a giant following. You know, if you follow some of these other like non-toy channels, you know, movies or lifestyle or whatever else, where they've got millions of followers, is update whenever they want to. It doesn't matter. And all of YouTube just focuses in on it, you know. But that's not us, and that's not where we are yet.
Once you run out of history of videos, you just need to do what Mr. Beast does and just like do crazy challenges, throw cash at people, and you'll be fine.
Okay, we'll do that. Everybody likes money.
Let's see. All right. Well, I think that's it for news. Now, we usually close out the show with our hauls and then stumping John on toy accessories. I don't know if you had any toy hauls with you handy, Dan. I don't know if there's any.
Do I have anything handy? I don't think I have anything handy right now, unfortunately. No. I'm watching that counter on my Big Bad Toy Store pile of loot countdown. I'm just waiting for like 2 more things to hit it before I ship it. I've got Raven Spawn in there. I've got my Hydra Stomper, Marvel Legends. Oh, and Captain Carter actually is in there too. What else? There was one other thing that hit that. I can't even remember what the other thing is that's in there, but there's like 2 things that I just got the notice, like it's going to be arriving soon. Make sure your payment is all squared away. So I'm like, okay, as soon as those hit, I'll ship it, and then I'll have some haul stuff. Because again, my Targets and Walmarts and stuff around here don't have anything.
Well, I keep finding the Hydra Stomper, but I really want to get that and Captain Carter at the same time, and I haven't seen Captain Carter in retail yet. I keep seeing the Stomper. I'm like, okay, you know what's going to happen, Jay. Just get the dang Stomper. The second you find the Carter, the Stomper is going to be gone. You'll never find it again.
Yeah, I bought the Disney Toy Box version because they come together. They're both in the box together to sort of tide me over. I got my shipping notice. Actually, I think it's supposed to be here tomorrow for my Funko Pop War Duke. I don't collect a lot of Funko Pops, but some of them I do. And I was like, I got to get that to tide me over until NECA's War Duke ships.
Oh, it looks so good. Like, and watching again, it's kind of similar to Sky Striker, like watching your anticipation and just like waiting for the news. It was a lot of fun. That was a lot of
War Duke watch.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness. All right, John, did you find anything this week?
Yeah, I got a couple things.
All right, do you want to go first then?
Sure.
All right,
sure.
You have the big screen here.
All right. So speaking of the Proton Pack,
oh, there it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
does it do anything?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna hit the buttons because my wife is sleeping in the next room. I don't want to make my dog go crazy.
Oh, nice.
My wife's not sleeping in the next room. Hold on, here we go. Let's see.
I feel all left out now.
Here we go. And then
there it is.
And then you can increase the intensity. And then you gotta pull the little lever. and then let me put up the mic. And then you can change it to the slime blower. And then
Nice.
pumped.
It is super awesome. It is really awesome. And I've never had any of the like the Matty Collector stuff, or never even really seen it in person. The props. So when I got this, I was like, yeah, this was worth $100.
So do either of you have like the goggles or anything like that?
Jay has some of the Matty Collector stuff.
I had all the Matty Collector stuff. The goggles weren't great. They were really heavy and they weren't comfortable. I wasn't a big fan of the goggles. But I sold it all. I sold it all a couple of years ago when the secondary prices were insane. And the second I saw Hasbro got the license, I was like, I'm just going to hope and roll dice that they'll do their own for whatever I paid for these. And I need more cash to fund the other crap that I need to buy next.
I think I got lucky. As soon as the pack was like announced officially, I bought it on Big Bad it was still $99. And then it was like just hours after that, it was sold out.
Yeah, you don't have to buy anything additional if you back the Skystriker.
Wait, real quick for Jason, I don't make sure to get super chat before it goes away. Hearing you talk about the Alley Viber, maybe want to get a bunch of them too. My plan is to put them in bats in flight with the MMPR putties.
Nice.
A lot of alliteration there.
I assume those are Lightning Collection putties.
Yes. All right, John, go ahead. I apologize.
All right. That's all right. I picked up the new Evelyn.
Oh, nice. You found it?
I did.
I haven't even seen that one on the shelves yet.
And again, my Walmart was littered with He-Man, with you name it. They had everything.
I think I've seen He-Man, Skeletor, and Trapjaw are the only ones.
Same. That's all I've seen.
They had the whatever you want to call it, like the yellow.
Oh yeah, the transforming.
The powers of Grayskull He-Man. I passed on that. It just didn't look, like I needed it.
It was selling for like $100 on eBay. Not to tell you.
Are you kidding me?
I think so. It was going for stupid money for a second. I'm sure it's fine now.
I'm sure it's calmed right down.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't need it. And then I got the Revelation Spike-Or.
Oh, nice.
That shipped from Amazon.
Nice.
Oh, very nice.
I know I kind of poo-pooed this figure like when we first seen it.
Sure. Yeah.
And I still feel the same way.
So I assume, is that a rubber vest, basically a rubber?
Yeah, it's just like a rubber over armor on him. And the trident does nothing. The big gimmick for Spike-Or was the extendable trident.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I assume you have the classics Spike-Or?
Yes. Yeah. And that one would rule all day long over this guy. He did come with all interchangeable hands, so he can have basic hands. But big fail, Mattel, because the trident is molded separately from the red piece.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't extend. Like it's almost, they thought about it, we'll make them two separate pieces, but then we'll just fall short. I don't get it.
Mistakes were made.
And then the next thing I have had, it was part of that big Transformers collection.
Yeah.
So it was just something I decided to keep.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can pick it up without it falling apart.
Uh-oh.
It's a third-party Devastator, but one of like those cheap, like the ones you pick up for like $50, and it's an oversize.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
It's NBK is the brand. It stands for like Nimble something Knights. I can't really remember.
It's so weird seeing it in like the not Devastator colors. It doesn't have that like shock of the purple.
Right. Yeah. It's a little bit darker on the purple.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, seeing these on eBay, shipping from China for like $50 with $5 shipping, worth it all day long.
Okay.
Yeah. How does it scale to? Do you have the most recent Devastator from Hasbro?
I do. It's in the box. It is smaller.
I think that's shorter.
Yeah, this one is shorter. I'd probably say it might be shorter by like 5 inches.
Oh wow, okay.
But when you compare that Hasbro one for like $200, when you get one of these for a quarter of that, I'd go for one of these all day.
Mm-hmm.
And the joints are actually pretty decent for I wouldn't even call it third party or knockoff, because it's not a knockoff because they didn't mold it off of something else. You know, it's
Right.
like they just redesigned it.
Yeah.
But totally worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally worth it.
All right.
And that is all I got.
For me, I got nothing like new, like at a store, but I went to my flea market, and and John knows the Raleigh flea market. It's been kind of hit or miss in recent years. But I actually found some good stuff, and some of them I got a huge bin of 90s Playmates Star Trek figures.
Nice.
Ships and everything, and the figures are still really cheap, and so I wouldn't pay like actual retail for them, even when it's like $5 a figure. But it was like a bin and had tons of stuff in it, and so I gave the guy like, I think it was $40, and tons of ships, tons of figures. And for me, they had all the original TOS figures from Playmates, all like a lot of TNG, a lot of Deep Space Nine, as well as some Voyager stuff. And then I cleaned up the Enterprise.
Nice.
So I'm trying to get a display of like having the Enterprise kind of flying and then having the figures there. I don't know. I'm gonna figure something out, but that was kind of fun to find.
That's a deep line.
It's absurd.
They made everybody in every outfit.
Speaking of that, I've got my favorite of it all was the Dixon Hill.
Nice.
Was in there as well. And then another guy had I've had a few Alfs, but I haven't had the talking Alf. So this one was there. It smells like it's the 80s.
That's your Funko Pop War Duke, just to tide you over till the NECA one hits.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. That was kind of, yeah. And so I haven't tried to put a new battery in the talking pack yet, but I don't know, John. You're an Alf fan. Like, does the talk pack kind of last on these, or I don't know? Is it?
Yeah, but they never sounded like him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. They do. That was that's Coleco, right? Coleco
This is
made
the
that
Coleco
guy.
one, yeah.
You should try it. Give it a
Does it
try.
take the sets like Teddy Ruxpin?
No, I don't know. I've never had it, John. Is it just
No,
a talk box?
It's just a talk box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So anyway, it was $10.
You could probably get, I think, Paul Fusco, Fusco. You could probably get him on the show, honestly. Just have him record some new dialogue for you.
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. John, is $10 a good buy here? I don't know. Is that
Oh,
is
yeah.
that $10?
Yeah.
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 All right.
I'd get that. Even though I already have 2 or 3 of them, I'd still pay $10 to have.
Yeah, I'd throw that on a
multiples.
shelf for $10.
Yeah, it was like
the background of our videos. Absolutely.
right, exactly. And it was clearly like it was in an estate sale. There's like a bunch of just trash, and then this was sitting on top of the trash, and I was like,
yeah.
$10
In your video when you're carrying him, and I just see like the top of his fur, and I'm like, that's Alf. That's Alf.
If you don't know, I if you follow me on Instagram, Geek Dead Life, I usually do my toy hunting videos on there. And then last but not least, I still haven't even cleaned it yet. It's still full of dust, flea market dust. But like I follow this principle I've learned from John. If you see a Megazord, buy it. And the same,
especially the earlier ones, for sure.
Yeah,
he is a good one.
And this is the lightning. Is it not lightning? Lightning.
It's Lightspeed Rescue Super Train Megazord.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's not his sword.
It isn't.
No, that goes to the Lost Galaxy. But don't throw it. That's a $50 sword.
Oh, okay.
There you
go. That's a Lost Galaxy Megazord.
Perfect. Well, so he had this sitting there, and he had it for $45. And this one was the drama of the show, or of the flea market, because it's been so bad. I think I had like $20 on me, and so he had $45 sticker there, and he's like, I'll do 30 for it. And I was like, 30? Like, it's got to be at least worth double this. So I'm not as familiar with this one. So then there's an ATM at the flea market. I start walking towards the ATM, and I'm like eBay, and I'm like, I saw like one missing the arm and missing some things. It was $58. I was like, all right, $30 is a good buy. So then I get the money from the ATM, and I walk back. And as I'm walking back, the thing all toy collectors fear if you didn't buy it in the first place, somebody was snooping around this, and he had a bunch of like role play stuff. And I was like, dang it, I knew it. I can't believe I didn't have the money right off the bat. And so then the guy, he was just like, I don't know. And would you do $30 for all of this stuff? And I was like, that's my in. I was like, you still do 30 for this? And then he was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, and then the other guy was like, you SOB. I was like, sorry, bye. And I just later. So John, I haven't. What do you think complete, or at least this isn't complete? Does he have a sword or something? What am I missing?
No, he's got 4 individual antennas, 2 that go on either shoulder. Yeah. And he came with a crane lift that would actually sort of lift the smaller Megazord that fits inside of the individual trains. But like that, $100 easily.
Boom. Yes, I did.
Making money.
I did good. But anyways, it was really stressful, and like, you know how you kind of do the rounds at a flea market, and he saw me a little bit later. He's like, "You got a great deal," and I was like, "Yeah, I know."
I know.
And you don't want to run back from the ATM, but you're doing that shuffle walk as fast as you can.
Like, I'm just gonna
speed walking. Flea market ATM, by the way, some of the most suspicious words put together. Like, there's a flea market at our sketchiest ATM at our sketchiest flea markets, and I'm always like, I'll just cancel this card after the flea market.
Well, and luckily it's at the NC State Fairgrounds. So it's where they have the fair, the North Carolina State Fair.
Okay.
And there's a couple shady ATMs, but there's one that's a credit union one. And I bank with a credit union, and so it's like this credit union deal where, like, if you have a credit union, they all like do it for free or whatever. You don't get fees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's perfect because it's like, it's the perfect flea market ATM for me because I don't get fees when I withdraw from it.
Isn't it cash points?
Yeah, it's a cash points. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, or like North Carolina something. Maybe it's cash points. I don't know. Either way, it says dang it, Jake, who's that sort of Stump John. Clearly, it wouldn't have because he knew more about it than I did. I literally, like, I got it yesterday. I put it in my room. I haven't even looked at it since we came on the show. Yeah, no Megazord left behind. Well, yeah, exactly. You see a Megazord, you buy it. That's it. That's all I know. That's all I know. All right. Last but not least, it is time for the one thing we do every single episode, and that is to Stump John. And Dan, I don't know if you've seen this before yet or not, but in each episode, or most of the time, if we have time to do it, we try to recreate what happens in toy shows when people bring parts to John, because he is a toy seller for many, many years. He knows a lot of parts. I'm like, what does this go to? And so we try to stump John on different accessories. I have some here. If you have some nearby that you want to throw in front of him, feel free.
I don't think I'm going to have anything old enough. Like, everything I'm going to have nearby at hand is going to be like really, really new stuff, and that's too easy.
Hey, maybe it'll be hard. I don't know. Maybe it will be. I don't know. So anyway, let me get it going here. Here we go. And it's that time again. It's time to test how good John really is with figuring out those parts to those pesky figures. So it is time to really see if we can truly stump John. So everybody at home, everybody all together, say it with me. 1, 2, 3. It's time to stump that John.
Stump that John. I missed it. Sorry.
Anyway, all right. Dan, I will go first to give you time if you have one handy. Don't stress it. Don't stress it though. All right. So stump that John, indeed. So John, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accessories.
Oh boy.
Maybe Dan will come up with 1 or 2. No big deal. All right.
Okay.
Mine are all vintage. They're all vintage accessories. So if Dan wants to bring them on, that's fine.
And sometimes yours are difficult because there's that period of the 90s that I just don't know a lot of, the Disney afternoon stuff that you are heavy into.
Sure, yeah.
Your stuff is tough to get.
Hey, listen, I'm a child, so I like to use new stuff. All right.
All right.
First one.
Oh, it goes to Beast Wars Megatron, the T-Rex Megatron.
All right, that one was too easy. Okay. All right, ready for the next one?
Yes, sir. Oh shoot, I know that thing. Does it go to?
Do you know the answers, Jay?
Yes, yeah, I
Okay.
pulled these from my own toys here in the room.
Oh, why do I know that thing? Does it go to a? Does it go to a Bucky O'Hare figure?
Nope.
Oh.
I'll give you a hint. Remember how I said I was a child?
That doesn't help.
Okay.
Pass it. Let's go to the next one. Let me think about that because I know it.
Here it is a golden sword.
Does that go to Peter Pan or Hook Peter Pan?
Yes, it does. Wow, that was really quick. Nicely done. Hook Peter Pan. You are the Pan. Have you done Hook yet? Is that on the list? I'm sure it's on
it's
the
absolutely on the list. Yeah, not something we've covered yet though.
That's one of my favorites. Okay. This one, I don't know if Ryan Doyle's. Oh, he is here. Yes, Ryan Doyle is here, and he got it right. This is actually on its. Well, I guess whenever Ryan tells me when
it goes to Pee-wee. Yes.
Oh, hey. Oh, snap. I guess I spoiled it. Darn it. Anyway.
No, it's my fault. I forgot to turn off my comments.
You're fine.
Okay. They're off now.
This is going to Ryan Doyle. It's part of the accessories I got for him for this set that I gotta send him whenever he gives me the go ahead. But this little piece right here.
That's a TMNT, right? Does it go to a Toon figure?
Nope.
No. Man. Is it a guitar strap?
Nope.
A keytar strap?
Nope. No, I would give it to you if it was one of those. Last guess. What do you got?
Man, I know it's TMNT.
You are right. It is TMNT.
Is it an April figure?
Nope.
Okay, I don't know it then.
It is the sewer play set. It's one of the little connectors on that little TV inside of the little bed area.
Yep.
It's one of those things where, like, if you see a listing for the sewer play set and it says complete, double check these little. There's like 3 of them. A lot of times they won't have all 3.
Okay, right, I got 2 things. We'll go this. We'll do this one first. This was easy one.
All right, hold on. Wait. There we go.
Oh, that goes to Centurion's Ace McCloud.
That's right. Do one, Jay. I'll save mine.
Okay, here we go. All right, this is my last one. Now, this is intentionally tricky, John. So
okay,
that's my one hint I'm going to give you, and on theme with all the G.I. Joe-ness.
It's Duke's binoculars. Is it Tiger Force Duke?
It is Tiger Force Duke. So he has the grayer ones, or I guess more gray than the
greenish color.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Dan, you're closing us out here. What do you got?
Oh, that's the Skystriker engine cover.
You got it.
John, this is one of your most successful ones.
I know.
Ever.
Yeah, the Pee-wee one was like, it's one of those things that you almost never see, but I was just trying to remember it.
It only came with the Pee-wee with the scooter version. And he usually sits over there. I have the playset over there. But anyway, 2 on the nose. Listen, Dan is here to get you to back the Skystriker. I have
one goal, one mission. That's it.
It's like, dang, exactly. If you haven't done it yet, do it. Oh man! All right. Well, Dan, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Hopefully, you had a good time. And let's close out. Seeing how many did we end with during?
We got 4.
Did we get 4? That's it.
That's it.
Oh, all right.
Well, it's 4 we didn't have when we started.
That's right.
And it was all us. It was definitely us. It
absolutely 100%.
All right, and then I did my next week I have a special guest, artist Sjogren, who just did a partnership with Netflix on this really cool
Wow.
11 a Demogorgon beast. He will be our special guest next week, so he'll be joining us. So definitely check or be looking out for that. A lot of fun. Really, if you haven't checked him out, definitely check him out on Instagram. Sjogren, really cool artist. He's partnered with I'm blanking on his name now. But anyway, a lot of really cool stuff. And
yeah, he did a really cool Skeletor for PowerCon.
Yes, I met him at PowerCon.
Yeah.
He did this was it, the special.
Yeah, with Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro. And he did a book about him too. But he says he has another toy unveiling that he wants to do on our show next week. So next Sunday's Toy Geeks, Sjogren will be on the show and talking about toys with us, as well as, I guess, unveiling a new fig. So definitely be on the lookout for that.
Scoop. Nice.
I think he made I commented on it. I was like, oh, that's awesome. The Stranger Things. I was like, I want to come on your show. I was like, okay, let's go. So he'll be here next week. But anyways, Dan, thank you so much. Where can everyone here knows yours, but where can people find your stuff?
YouTube.com/ToyGalaxyTV. If you're on Twitter, I'm Toy Galaxy Dan. Greg is Toy Galaxy TV. Do not talk to him about toys. Do not talk to me about horror movies. You're going to get no responses. We're going to block you both. We're on Instagram, Toy Galaxy. And then we're also on Patreon, patreon.com/ToyGalaxy. And then we're also on Twitch, trying to get back into our twice a week, Tuesday and Friday sort of schedule, usually 7 p.m. Eastern time.
You just did the Transformers Optimus Prime.
That was fun.
I loved your reaction because that's every time I've shown it. Even my wife, that's everybody's reaction when you see it for the first time.
I just don't know what to do with it. Like, what do you do with it now? What do you do with it now? You know, it's really amazing. It's really cool, but it's like a party trick. You know, like, hey, look at this thing. Isn't that neat? And everybody goes like, oh my God, it's so neat. That's it.
The problem is like it goes like it's like a cat. It's like you lift up and it's like you turn it off. But anyway,
thank you very much for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for chat, for hanging out and commenting. And I know you're all going to go back to Skystriker. I get it. It's fine.
Exactly. And that'll do it for this episode of Toy Geeks. Again, thank you to Dan Larson. John, as always, I just hanging out with you every single week is one of the great joys of my week.
Same.
That Skystriker is nice. That is
clean.
It's clean. Froze. I'm missing the action. I hear the action. There we go. This is smooth. Join us Sunday nights at 9 p.m. again. Next week we'll have a special guest Sjogren on the show. And yeah, if you haven't done it, hit that like button. And if you want to see when these episodes drop, hit the subscribe button and that bell icon to be notified when the next episode of Geek Dad Live drops. We'll see you all next time. Hasta luego and goodbye.